Hi, Mrs. Novello here, walking you through how to draw and ink your manga self-portrait. They're going to be looking like this when we're done, and our next step after this is going to be watercoloring and brick background. So let's get started with review. We did a practice portrait inking activity the last class session where you applied basic inking techniques to that portrait. Now we're going to look through our manga anime packets to just kind of zero in on the features we want for our face. You're going to be given an oval face template that you will center on a piece of watercolor paper, and you will trace that lightly with pencil. We all know that manga faces are characteristically angled, so you'll need to divide up your face using proportion to create a more angular chin and then erase that unnecessary pencil. Once you're done with that, you'll divide the face into proportions and begin adding your manga features. And remember, you want these features to be unique to you and represent you. You're doing this all lightly with pencil: eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, and hair. And then the last detail is adding your neck. Then it's time for ink. You'll use a fine and an ultra fine Sharpie, and depending on the feature, you'll use the tool that makes sense. I used a fine point for my hair, for outlining my face and neck. And then I made sure I used an ultra fine for small features like my mouth, my tongue, my nose, and went back to the fine point Sharpie to do my dramatic eyes. Now remember, mangas are really have profound eyes, nice and big and bold, so I really spent extra time detailing those so that they really stood out. I didn't forget to add a highlight in each eye, so make sure that you create a highlight in each eye as well. And then once you're done, you're going to erase all the unnecessary pencil that is left. Then it's time to add your inking techniques. So again, like our practice, we're going to add inking techniques to our hair, and we want to make sure that we have highlights or ink techniques at the tips of our hair, at the bottom sections of our hair, and also at the top of our crown, so it looks as if we have designated highlights in our hair. Once we're done with our hair, then we can move on to the rest of the features, but again, you can use hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, scrumpling, whatever techniques make sense for the detail that you're trying to add pen and ink techniques to. So I used hatching for my hair. You can see that I'm doing the crown work now, and this is where once I add an additional layer and darken it a bit and stretch out those hatch marks, then my tips will be they'll be hatched, and the crown, so it looks like I'll have a designated section for highlights. Now I'm adding stippling around my eyes to create a more dramatic shadow, but also create more depth. And then I'm going to fill in my eye details, like my highlight and then my dramatic ink for my eyes. Then I'm going to go back to that ultra fine and fill in cross-hatching inside of the mouth. And then the last detail I'll add will be probably some shadowing underneath my neck.